Mark Twain said, "The truth is stranger than fiction." And when it comes to who really controls the NBA's money, well, the truth is stranger than you can possibly imagine. And you're gonna learn the answer to that and more right after this. Real talk. I used to play fantasy sports, but I honestly got tired of it. For me, it was tedious, expensive, and time consuming. But I'm here to tell you about a new fantasy app called FENDOFF that not only puts an exciting twist on fantasy, but it's also free. FENDOFF allows you to pit all that sports knowledge in your noggin against other players and have a shot at winning real prizes. It's much simpler than having to look up every player's baseball reference page. Instead, you get to predict which teams are going to win and enter contests to climb the leaderboards, earn achievements, and even enter season-long leagues if you like the grind. Let me show you how this works. Every player starts with 2,000 gold coins and 500 sweeps, and you accumulate more coins and sweeps daily. Watch me claim these right freaking now. Boom! It's so simple. All I gotta do is pick a winner tonight, and you know it isn't the Mets, and then I can enter in other contests. I've partnered with FENDOFF this week to run 5 daily baseball contests, and guess what the champs will win? 20,000 sweeps, which can be redeemed for up to $200 in prizes. What are you waiting for? Go to the link below, make an account, and you can begin to play for absolutely free. FENDOFF Sports. For those of you who are impatient, the answer to who controls the NBA's money is sports writers. Yep, you can turn the video off now. But if you want to learn why LeBron's paid stalker Brian Windhorst controls who in the NBA gets paid and who doesn't, you're probably going to want to keep watching. You're still here? Good. Let's start by bringing this way back to the beginning of the salary cap era. For 1 year in the 1940s, the NBA instituted their very first salary cap, which was promptly abolished after just 1 season. Until the 1984-85 season, free enterprise reigned in NBA economics. But when the cap was finally set again, teams were unable to surpass $3.6 million in total payroll, which for reference is roughly what the Rockets paid 36-year-old Nene in 2019. Since then, the salary cap has risen from $3.6 million in 1984 to over $100 million in 2019. But unlike the other major sports leagues, the NBA has a specific pay scale system for veterans called the Max and Supermax. In order to be eligible for a max contract, a player entering his second contract must have either been selected to an All-NBA team at any level in the player's 4th season or in 2 of the 3 seasons between his 2nd and 4th season, been selected as Defensive Player of the Year in the player's 4th season or in 2 of the 3 seasons between his 2nd and 4th season, or been selected as MVP in any season from the player's 2nd onward. If a player entering his 5th year fits that criteria, take Nuggets center Nikola Jokic for example, he's eligible to earn a 5-year contract extension worth 30% of a team's total salary cap. Then there's the Supermax, which works similarly to the max contract but with a slightly different criteria. For a player to be eligible to receive the Supermax, they first have to be entering either their 8th or 9th year in the NBA, meaning they're now about to sign their 3rd contract, and they must qualify for at least one of the 3 barriers to entry. They have to have either made the All-NBA team at any level in either the season immediately before signing the extension or 2 of the 3 previous seasons, been named NBA Defensive Player of the Year in either the season immediately before signing the extension or 2 of the 3 previous seasons, or been named NBA MVP at least once in the previous 3 seasons. If a player has checked one of those 3 boxes, think someone like Kevin Durant in 2016, then they're eligible to earn 30 to 35% of a team's salary cap for up to 5 years following the expiration of their 2nd contract. It sounds overly complicated, but the rule was put in place to give smaller market teams a chance to keep superstars that they've drafted and developed. And of course, 2 of the first instances of the Supermax coming into play involved Durant, who left for Golden State, and DeMarcus Cousins, who was traded by the Kings rather than signing him to a $200 million deal. Now, what's the problem with all of this? Consider the criteria again. It involves accolades and awards like All-NBA, Defensive Player of the Year, and MVP. Nothing stat or analytics based. So what does all those awards have in common? Every one of them is decided by the media. That's right, imagine asking for a raise and having your financial future be placed in the hands of people like this, or God forbid this. Yep, guys that couldn't make it 5 weeks on HBO decide what NBA players are getting paid for the next 5 years of their lives?
DeMar reminds me a lot of myself.
So for LeBron to pass Jordan, he needs a time machine to go back about 11 months when he passed him the first time.
Of course, this system was negotiated for in the collective bargaining agreement of 2011. Remember that season when games didn't start until Christmas? That's because the NBA and the NBA Players Association were deadlocked, trying to hammer out a new deal. Owners like Michael Jordan, Mark Cuban, and Paul Allen were pitted against NBPA President Derek Fisher and younger players like Carmelo Anthony, Chauncey Billups, and Kawhi Leonard. The result was the modern-day max contract, and in 2017, the Supermax was created in a far less contentious negotiation. Because of these two clauses, some players have lost out on millions and millions of dollars. Take Warriors shooting guard Klay Thompson, for example. Because he missed out just barely on his second All-NBA team in his 3 years, Thompson was no longer eligible to earn a Supermax that would have paid him $219 million over 5 years, and instead can only earn just over $100 million for 4 years. Sounds like champagne problems, but you'd be mad too if Bill Simmons and Sage Steele were the reason you missed out on an extra 9 digits in your bank account. In a perfect world with completely impartial voters, this might not be a problem. But of course, it's not a perfect world, and the voters are anything but partial. Can we expect Boston-based writers like Bill Simmons, Jackie McMullen, and Bob Ryan not to show any kind of favoritism, either implicit or otherwise? Or an outspoken Chicago fan like Michael Wilbon not to vote for Derrick Rose as MVP. Furthermore, they could be influenced by relationships with the players themselves. For a member of the media, it's far more enticing to vote for a player who answers questions patiently every night as opposed to someone like Russell Westbrook, who makes it his personal mission to treat the media like chickenpox. Or Chris Paul, who is known for treating just about everyone like shit and insulting their man boobs. Writers are not the all-knowing oracles of Greek mythology. They're humans with biases, agendas, and scores to settle just like everyone else. Is this really the most just system the NBA could come up with? In the NFL, even with a hard salary cap, free market principles dictate salaries, which is why quarterbacks make far more than inside linebackers, safeties, or running backs. In the NBA, even though it's now widely accepted that point guards impact the modern game more than centers, both positions are scheduled to make the same amount of money with the max and supermax, even though it's much harder to crack an all-NBA team as a guard than a center. Certainly stats don't tell the whole story, but why, in a sport where the impact of analytics is only second to that in baseball, don't numbers dictate other numbers? The numbers preceded by dollar signs. In a league where stats like PER, plus minus, and true shooting percentage tell much of the story on the court, it's merely the eye test or whatever formula the writers apply that control the flow of money. And now, every year, the max and supermax doesn't just screw over players, it puts teams in awkward positions too. Hornets guard Kemba Walker, while not a player that can transcend a team's fortune and carry them to the playoffs alone, made his first All-NBA team in 2019 just sneaking onto the third team. That presents a problem for the 39 and 43 Hornets, as paying Walker the allotted amount would put them over the cap and force them to pay luxury taxes, which team president and GM Mitch Kupchak refused to do. After all, NBA franchises are still businesses, and the smaller ones need to cut costs. The only other options would be to trade Walker, a player they drafted in 2011 and have developed the past 8 seasons, or to cut another veteran to stay under the cap. Either way, it weakens a team that's missed the playoffs 3 years running. Ironically, the slotting systems that were created to help small market teams keep homegrown talent has thrown player movement into flux and hamstrung teams into paying above average players like stars, and stars like superstars. Whatever it set out to achieve, it did the opposite and made the party most removed from the process the most powerful. Yes, contained in an old Mark Twain quip is an invariable truth we cannot avoid. How long will this seemingly arbitrary system of voting for players ends up affecting more than people's wallets and championships? Why can't a player just earn their keep? Was it to cut out more middlemen by creating more arrogant ones? Whatever the case, if you ever make it to the NBA, be sure to kiss all the reporter ass your puckered mouth can handle.
Chris, will the Clippers be back here Sunday playing a Game 7?
What?
the problems you're having offensively. Lackluster offense.
You guys lose this game or did the Jazz win this one?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
It might make you $119 extra million. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out the app FENDOFF.com from the link below and sign up and play for free today. I'm 5 Points Vids, and you made it to the end of this video.